before I begin, just a quick. How many of you are UX UI people? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And creative industries? Yeah. Oh, great. And code writing? Okay, great. And the rest of you? Art and leisure? What are you? Online marketing. Okay. Yes, I should have asked. Marketing?
Yeah, kind of same marketing, product management.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I will introduce myself, I guess. Oops. Let's see how is that going to work. So basically, if you will ask Claude about who is Omri Marcus, you will learn that I was born in the 50s. I'm one of the richest people in Israel. I'm known for my famous parties and orgies, and I'm one of the richest people in Israel. The reason why I begin with that slide is because it's a kind of like a nice reminder that we can't trust anything coming out of the AI as a practical. What I am, and in a way, it's pretty much like Fabian was doing, kind of like we are not clear what is our profession is these days. But no matter what I'm doing throughout my life, it's always part of this deal. Give me your attention, and I will give you the best possible value for that. It doesn't matter if it's your vote in the elections, if it's your views when you are watching Big Boss in the television, or you are give me your money for a marketing campaign. I'm in this deal, and I'm always I'm kind of like the hyphen between the technology and the content. So I started my career as a writer in Israel's most popular comedy show. I was the head writer. It's like SNL, or I'm trying to think about the German equivalent for that. It was like Schillerstrasse meets the Heusche show of Jan Wommermann. A very popular show. Then I got the most amazing scholarship, traveled all around the world for a year to learn how they're making TV and what makes this deal of content in return for attention works. I worked in different categories, in comedy, in reality, in dating shows. I worked in different entities, doing projects all over the world. Doing a couple of projects with Jan Bommerman in Germany, especially. And these days, what I'm doing, it was always about the same thing. It was from different angles, but it was the same thing. Give me your attention, like you could do whatever you want with your time, but you picked to be here right now. So I was thinking, what would give you the most valuable? That would be the best use of your time? The fact that you are here right now. So what I'm doing these days is I'm teaching AI in film schools and for politics and from some other places about how can we use this technology in order to make intimacy at scale, to create not just a lot of more of content, not the quantity, but the quality. I'm working with the writers of The Simpsons and writers from the late night in the US to teach them how the AI can elaborate them. Actually, you know what? I want to start differently. Because you look like very busy audience, I will start by doing what's called BULF. You know the term BULF? Bottom line up first. It's kind of like I will give you the bottom line of this presentation. Basically, what I will get to in 45 minutes from now is the fact that the AI gave us a mythological powers. We can do whatever we want, but we are like centaur, like the mythological creature. Only we can decide if we want to be with the head leading the way, and then to kind of like to run very fast, or we are kind of like mythological creature with the head of a horse and kind of like our leg. Hello for the Turkish delegation. We've been waiting for you guys. So, fun fact I've learned while working on this presentation. If you would be the smartest person in the world in the 16th century, you would be consuming data your entire life. You would consume 74 gigabytes of content, of data you've been exposed to. You've read every possible book. Do you know how much is 74 gigabytes? Besides of half an iPhone, I guess. 74 gigabytes is the amount of content people got exposed to in 2020 in one single day. So your entire life and in one day, which means it's a very red ocean. The war on our attention has never been more, how would I say it? It's a very red ocean. It's very violent war on our attention. So, and that's kind of like from 2020. The amount of content that now is being generated in the era of AI is, I guess, double that amount. So we are kind of like, we are bombarded endlessly with content. And we need to give some people more interesting stuff. I love this scene. I think it's kind of like, instead of me giving 1,000 words, I will just show this clip. Oops. It's demonstrate precisely what I'm talking about. Why isn't there sound? So this is the moment where Buzz Lightyear is discovering that even though he thought he was a unique person or unique creature, he's not that unique as he thought he is. Just 1 second, let's see.
You need sound?
Yes. Great. So, even though our mother told us that we are a very unique kid, we are not very unique. There are so much of that. And I'm not going to shame anyone, but before I got here, to story, we have AI slow. I'll say it differently. I should have said it differently. I should have said that if I'm trying to define, I put it here.
Okay, but is there sound? Sorry.
Let's see. Yes, now there is sound. So what is this AI slope that I'm talking about? Let's delve into it. In today's fast-paced digital world, furthermore, we must unleash a paradigm shift to achieve synergy and seamless integration, or else this tapestry of content will fail us to elevate our business, and in conclusion, will just be AI slope. So if I'm trying to explain what AI slope, the last 10 seconds of my conversation was AI slope. I just demonstrated the fact that you got nothing from that besides me saying words that mean nothing. The definition of AI slope, and this is the word of the year by Merriam-Webster, AI slope is a digital content of low quality that is produced usually in quantity by means of artificial intelligence. So we have a lot of it, but it was never as cheap to generate content that nobody will consume, nobody will watch, nobody will hear, nobody will read. And it's not only text. I mean, I'm not sure if you've seen that. This is from Prime Video, a service that they paid so much to produce. And then on the definition of Dog Day Afternoon, they wrote, a man takes hostages in a bank in Brooklyn. Unfortunately, I do not have enough information to summarize further within us. Okay, this is a slope. Or would you pay $2,000 for chairs? They are saying, I apologize, but I cannot fulfill this request to violence OpenAI policy. So, or this is from CNN, that the AI of Australian travel company website sends tourists to non-existing hot springs, and it's not the only test case. There are actually a wave of locations that AI created. Now think about how much can you trust a website that sends you to a non-existing place. And it's, it's happened with politicians. I won't go into that, but you can guess what I'm thinking about it, and also the fact that lawyers apologize for fake quotes, fabricated judgment generated by AI in murder case. So it's a matter of life and death. And it's very, very risky thing to do. And I guess you all felt what I'm feeling, that there is nothing to read on LinkedIn since more than 50%, this is from last year, more than 50% on LinkedIn is generated by AI. So it feels like it was generated by bots. And I just bumped, on the way over here, I bumped into this very interesting statistic that 34% of the people that read something that was written by AI and was sent to them will feel like it's an insult. Like if somebody from your office sent you an AI content, it feels like, it doesn't appreciate me that he sent me this bullshit stuff. So anyway, we are bombarded with so much content. And there is a shift from TLDR. You know this term, too long didn't read? So we are now living in an era I like to call AIDR. We are kind of like, thank you for asking the machine to write me this long conversation. It could have been an email, as we say in the end of the meetings. You know, I'm writing my emails. I guess none of you. Is there anyone here that English is their mother tongue? No. Okay, so you don't understand what I'm talking about. I'm writing my emails like an Israeli. Okay, I'm just writing what I need. And then I'm asking the AI, can you add some fluff? Because the person I'm sending it to is American businessman. So can you add some fluff like American people like? And it adds some fluff. And I was talking to this business guy afterwards, and he was like, yeah, I was reading your email. I just asked the AI to take off all the fluff and to tell me what you wanted to say here. So 52% of the audience, there is an audience fatigue. If an audience will feel they've read something that was written by AI, there are 52% chance that they will actively reducing engagement with content they identify as AI generated. And I'm talking, this was created about political content. I mean, if you are a candidate and you are sending text that was created by AI, the chances that your potential voters will be, the next time they will get an email from you, they're less likely to open it. 40%, this is the productivity paradox, the fact that 40% of the time that's saved by using AI immediately lost to rework. You know that when you are asking the AI to do stuff and they are doing it over and over and over again, and you think to yourself, I could have written this by myself and it would be easier. And $106, hidden financial drain. This is the amount of time per employee per month every company is paying for the time that their employees needed to clean up and to editing duties of AI. So kind of like we are just in the beginning of this era, and there are a lot of childhood maladies coming up with that. And as I told you, 37% is less intelligence if you are receiving an AI content. And I'm not going to do shaming, but this is a real email I recently got last week, actually, saying, okay, this is the email. I tried to blur a couple of the things, but I saw your upcoming session on narrative stress test, which means the hyper-personalization we can all have, kind of like the AI is smart enough to take the description of my content and kind of like implemented it into the email so I will feel like somebody really give attention to it. But I said, I saw your upcoming session. Okay, I'm curious. Maybe an actual person wrote it. But then he wrote, in today's fast-paced digital landscape, it is important to know that delve into. When I just read the word delve, this is kind of like one of those words of AI that if I read delve, I know that it's not a human being wrote it. There is a list of them. So it's like a drinking game. Every time I'm reading an email and there is one of them, beacon off, not that, but this, some others, or here I love that one. By harnessing our cutting-edge ecosystem, we can seamlessly, a crazy word for AI slop, elevate the storytelling to the next level. Okay, everything of that is happening because of what I'm calling the single prompt fallacy. The fact that a lot of the marketing people think that the AI is like a Coke machine. You are putting a coin or the prompt on the one side, and you are getting the research or the validation on the bottom. No, you are getting a slop at the bottom if you are doing that, because there is not a single prompt you can write that will do that. It's like you need to do a couple of things that I will discuss and, more importantly, demonstrate in a second. That will demonstrate this. My solution, and I'm going back to my beginning statement, is that we need to lead the AI and not to let the AI lead us. Questions so far? Any kind of like feedback somebody wants to share about something that happened to him with AI slop? Because we all have the stories about the crazy AI slop stories that we got. Okay, so let me dive right into that. Let's devolve into that. I need to start by saying that I'm kind of like an alien in this industry or in this conference because I'm coming from the storytelling. I'm not a technology person, I'm not a code person, I'm not UX per se person, but we are all on the same, I feel like we are all living the same principle of value for time. No matter if we are from Poland or we are from Turkey or we are from Bangalore or from Germany. We are all on the same, we are all on it together. So I want to demonstrate something that I'm teaching my students in the script school, but it's completely, you can embed it to your day-to-day work. Basically, back in the days when you used to write a script, you used to write, there is a saying, you are writing the first draft with your heart and then the second draft with your head. I believe that today we are working in a three-floor system or structure with your heart, with your head, and with the stress test. The first floor is the facts and friction. I think I need to lift a drone and to say the bigger picture. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the solution to the problem is breaking this, not writing a single prompt, but to break it into a couple of prompts in order for you to come up with better results. And I'm talking about massively better results, something that would be generating an intimacy at scale, generating value for the people. Fabian, you know what I'm talking about. So when I'm talking about effects and friction, this is kind of like where we, the scriptwriters, this is what's called vomit draft. We are throwing everything that we have in our heart and in our head about the topic. And also, we are also in that part, because it's the foundation of the structure, we need to have reality. We need to have facts, hard facts. So here on the first floor, we are putting every emotional and human thought that we have and good and facts that we can find. The second floor is the frame. Is the floor of the synthetic professionals that we are using. Again, we are not saying to the second floor, write me a marketing analysis, but we are telling him, you are now a market analysis person, do that. But this floor is that we are taking all the raw chaos from the first floor, and we are meeting structural discipline. It's not just theoretical. I'm going to demonstrate it in a second practically. And the last floor, this is the stress test. This is where the structural discipline faces the brutal synthetic friction. Okay, prepare yourself. It's going to become fun in a second, I promise. So, we are good with time. Excellent. Our role from that moment now, because we are, I believe is that we stopped being workers and we became architects. This is kind of like in an era of AI, the AI will do every annoying Sisyphic work that we used to do, and now we are going to be the architects of the stuff, and our goal would be to run from one floor to the other and to supervise the process. Okay, execution. I'm going to demonstrate it now. Is there anyone here from the candle industry? Okay, lucky me. I was thinking about what would be the most boring possible industry I could think of, and I went on the candle industry. Nothing has changed there for many, many years, so I want to demonstrate it at that industry. So in candles, let's imagine that Peter, you are the head of development for the candle industry, and the CEO is coming to you and saying, Peter, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, I want you at 12 o'clock to come up with completely revolutionize the candle world, candleize the world. Let's do something completely new from scratch. Basically, back in the days, when I'm talking about, I don't know, it sounds like 50 years, but it's only 2 years ago, you had to go to the head of research, and then the head of development, and then the head of marketing, and to talk to the head of, I guess, CFO would be involved, and the graphic designer, and the copywriter. You need a lot of people to do that. You need all of them to be politically on the same side like you, and they all need to be motivated to assist you. And what is happening now is that we are becoming one-stop shop. We are not different. We can do it by ourselves. I'm not saying that by 12 o'clock you will have a TV ad to put on the TV, but you will have something more. You will talk less, and you will talk less and show more. You will have to use less words, and you can demonstrate the CEO what you have in your mind. But the pipeline to get there haven't changed. We still need to do the same process. Only now we have the AI to assist us and to evaluate us and to make us almost superhumans with the capabilities it gives us. So I'm doing a reverse engineering. I'm telling the AI, I need to be by 12 o'clock with the most visual presentation to my CEO about the revolution in candle world. What would be the process to get there? And the AI breaks the process, the work process. And also I'm asking it, what would be, as of now, we are talking about, what is the day today? The 10th of May, of June. What would be the best tools to do that? And it kind of like gives me what would be the best tools. I did this last week, and I already need to change 2 of them. So this is constantly changing. So we begin with research. I was doing that with Gemini. How many of you are using deep research? Okay, actually, I would ask it differently. How many of you don't use deep research? Really? Okay, I will explain to you what I'm talking about. It's on ChatGPT and Gemini. There is this plus button. You are pressing on it, and you are getting, actually, it looks like this. Here, you are asking it to do a deep research. So it's not just an answer. It's kind of like a very detailed answer with resources and citation to each and every plan. And the biggest mistake that people are doing is just asking the questions that come up to their mind, like, give me an overview about the candle industry. But if to quote Dick Cheney, there are a lot of unknowns. So the first thing I'm doing is to ask him, what should I ask you? And I'm saying, you are now a trained researcher. Write me a comprehensive prompt research to the prompt market and tell me what to ask you. And he gave me kind of like this long of a prompt, what should I ask him? This is not a research, this is what should I ask him about? Like demographic and customer profile, this makes sense. And then dominant market trends makes sense. Pricing and positioning, okay. Distribution and sales channels, I wouldn't think about that. And immediate commercial gaps, which is brilliant. I haven't been thinking about it. It takes him about half an hour to come up with it. And then I'm putting it on Notebook LM, which makes great infographics and other thing. And so I got 7 different kinds of researchers. I'm talking about hundreds of pages that was generated with a lot of knowledge about the candles, potential clients, the gaps in the market and everything. So now it took me half an hour and I have comprehensive research about the topic. I'm taking this research and I'm continuing to the next step. So I was at the first floor. Now I have this first floor, quite solid, with a lot of ideas, with a lot of things. Now I'm getting to the second floor. On the second floor, I'm going to Claude. I'm implementing all the data from the first floor and as a project. Who of you are using projects in Claude? Yeah, it's great, isn't it? So I'm putting all the data I have, so it's not just him playing all around. It's like giving him a soccer and saying, go and play around all the world. No, I'm now saying, this is the stadium, this is the only place you can play soccer. This actually restriction is making it much more effective and more focused. So I'm telling him, based only on the research that you see from here, I want you to be now a product, how did I said it? Lead product architect and disruption innovator. I want you to come up with ideas. And he came up with those 12 ideas for candles. Okay, the aging candle for your future self and catharsis ritual, write it, burn it, release it. Actually, not a bad ideas. Let's be honest here. There is edible candles and there is a set DJ, whatever. A lot of ideas. And if you'll try to do it the other way, just asking him, come up with 12 ideas, you'll get the shitty ideas. I can promise you that. This one are not so bad. But what I want to show is that I'm not using my gut feeling at all here. I'm going to the third floor, the audience mapping. I'm asking it, I'm saying, you are a moderator of synthetic focus group. it's not an actual focus group, it's synthetic one. Like friends on Facebook are not really your friends, they are synthetic friends. So we don't really have terms for it. So I'm just calling it synthetic focus group. What I asked it to do was to build a synthetic focus group that will take the data from here, from the first floor, to take the ideas from the second floor, and lastly, to come up with an idea about how to do that. So it created this synthetic focus group with Vanessa, the 34 luxury brand, and Chloe, the 22 design student. And it's very important because the LLM is designed to you know, it's very nice to you. It's kind of like very flattering, and you are everything is very good, and everything is, but it's not that impressive. So now I'm telling it, you need to be binary to one another. 6 people in one room, and I want you to kind of like not to agree with one another necessarily. So he created me this group of 6 people, and then I can start working with them instead of my gut feeling. It's not necessarily that they know better, but it's not me by myself. So I told them, now discuss the 12 ideas. Tell me what you think. So Elena, let's say, said, it's cheap and something real. 2 people have to burn letters and for, they have actually, they can discuss it for as long as we want. And eventually,
Okay, so we agreed the winning idea is edible candles. Yes, edible candles is brilliant.
I agree. It's a unique concept. Let's prototype it.
Perfect.
okay, so I let them make the decision for the demonstration's sake. They picked the edible candles, and I didn't even stop them. By the way, surprisingly enough, it's apparently there is an actual edible candles on Instagram. I'm going back to the second floor for checking the name. I'm asking it, based on the stuff from the first floor, I want you to come up with good names for it. And he's coming up, I said, you are now, as a synthetic, you are a synthetic senior creative director and brand naming expert. I'm launching it to them, and he came up with those ideas. Render, we can dine, candle crumble, dripping. This is the second floor. Again, I'm running to the third floor, and I'm asking them, what do you think I should pick? And they picked.
Well, that was quite an argument, but we decided the best name is Candle Crumble, right, guys?
Yes, Candle Crumble it is.
I love it. Perfect.
Solid choice. I'm in.
Agreed.
Okay,
Let's
so
do
we
it.
have candle crumble. Now, I want to show it's very important, since I'm doing it a lot in many places, like I'm doing it in cyber, I'm doing it in politics, I'm doing it in social organizations, always to keep it the option of you don't like any of the ideas. Because that way you are opening, like when I've done the slogan, and I was a bit, let the host make the decision. I didn't ask it to be counting on the thing from the first floor. It came up with those ideas for slogans. I gave it to the focus group, and they came up with that.
Honestly, we don't like any of the options.
So I got back to the second floor, told them do another iteration based on the data. And sometimes, even if that's not enough, I need to go down again and make some more research in order for him to have some more stuff to work with. I will try to lift the speed so we can get to the end of that. I was doing the same thing with the logo. I showed, it's so great, I can upload 6 different versions of the logo that I asked him to create logos, then going back to the next floor and ask them to pick one. They picked that one.
Agree. This is the logo.
And now I have a logo, I have a name, and let's do a short break here, because where we are right now, it's been 15 minutes. It cost me $3 in tokens, and a team of 1 person was doing that, which is quite impressive. Now I'm going back to the first floor. I'm doing the research. I'm telling him, I'm telling it, this is the product. Now make a research about what kind of audience would be interested in this kind of product. And he created me this new research, deep research, potential target audiences, culinary curious consumers, young adults seeking hosting experience, Denmark first node. Is there anyone from Denmark here? No? Really? Do you know what a hygge is? The thing. So why is candles part of it?
Because you're sitting
Okay. So it's not a bullshit. It's something real. Okay. And children birthday parties, and lastly, innovation-loving early adopters. So that was from the first floor. I got to the second floor, say, you are now a synthetic market expert. Now tell me, how do I get to all those 5 groups that I was talking about? So he said about the culinary curious consumer, he said, billboards, go and have a billboards. I told him, you are a graphic designer based on the research from the first floor, create a billboard for Candle Crumble. He created all those kinds of nice billboards. Are they good? I don't know, let me ask the group. And the group said they didn't really like it. They gave me input, I got back to it, and I said, redesign the billboard based on the focus group. And he redesigned it to look like that. Really, you think this is ridiculous? We just started. So, now second group, it was the student seeking memorable hosting. He said, do use influencers for that. So, okay, but I'm not going to reach out to anyone with my dumb idea. Let's use...
I met this girl on Tinder, wanted a special night, so I lit a candle crumble. Let's just say things heated up.
Or...
Hey guys, look at this edible candle. It's on fire and it smells amazing. It's supposed to be super tasty. I'm gonna try it. Wow, that's actually delicious. So cool.
Okay, so I can bring that to the focus group and said, no, now let's make it just a focus group of this. Let's make a new focus group just for young people to see what their feedback. But let's skip that because I want to get to it. I asked, what should I do for the Danish group? Said, let's make a ad campaign just focus on them. And I asked the verse 3 to generate...
Seriøst, det her Candle Crumble er det sjoveste, vi har prøvet.
Så lækker, genial idé.
So it's nice that, you know, back in the days when I need to tell my CEO something, I need to tell a story. And it's so hard to tell it. Now I'm showing it by Ace-Tech, and this is the product that we are going to do. Do you like it or not? This is kind of like, it will make the CEO easier to make a decision. And children, they said, give a short form. It's for the children. I asked him, you are now an expert in children. What should I do? I said, catchy song and a very colorful ad. I just put it in and I got the ad ready.
Candle crumble, boom, boom, boom. Such a fun candle, take a yummy chew. Candle crumble, tam, tam, tam. No need to blow out, you can just eat it. Candle crumble, a party in your tummy.
Makes complete sense. Okay, this one I asked it to kind of like to the innovation lab. I said, what should I do there? And actually, he wrote a script from the second floor.
In a world where every detail is a work of art, light is our secret ingredient.
The sweetest thing revealed at the last moment.
Okay, I've showed it to the group, and they told me,
what is this? This ad is total slop. You are wasting our time here.
okay, so...
You can do better.
Thanks. So basically, it's kind of like, it's like the nudge. It's like always somebody, the annoying person from your office that gives you the opposite opinion, but it's very helpful in the process, like you are getting that thing. So I kind of like, I asked him, what would you do that would be effective? So they said, make it more personal and more hard sale. And I created Have you ever thing.
Looked at a vanilla candle and thought, I know I'm not supposed to, but what if? Good news, America, we made the candle edible. Finally, a candle with commitment issues.
Okay, so kind of like UVC, direct-to-consumer ideas. It's very interesting to read the conversation. This is kind of like the main thing there. And red team, because it's always nice when you have, I was talking about this annoying opposition for you, because before you are releasing something to the market, it's really nice to have something that will kind of like give the opposite opinion, so you won't be surprised. It's very Polish, I guess, to kind of like to think about the best possible option.
So I led it at my own birthday party, exactly like the ad, and watched 6 friends realize at the same moment that the entertainment was going to be me chewing a candle. It tasted like a gift shop.
The warning label is not clear enough. So I burned my eyebrows. Today, I cooked my own face.
Okay, you got the concept. And by the way, okay, we finished that process, but just so you know, I was doing the exactly same thing about this presentation. I uploaded the entire presentation. I said, this is the audience that's about to come. Can you make a deep research about the potential audience? And he completely rewrite my presentation in order to be a better fit. And then I created this synthetic people that doesn't look like you, but it's this is the same demographic that's created, and I got a feedback about how to make my presentation better. So the challenges in 2026 is not just about generating content, it's generating content that provides actual value. And this is my chase, to create an intimacy at scale. You achieve this by leading the AI rather than letting the AI lead you. I do want, before we wrap, we have oh, wait, well, great with time. Questions so far, by the way? Oh, yeah.
Did you have to specifically prompt, you used Claude for the stress test stage of the process, right? Where you made the synthetic group. Do you have to tell Claude that the group is allowed to disagree and reject all?
This is the most important thing. This is the first line. This group is not about giving me compliment about how brilliant I am. I have the entire ChatGPT doing that. I want you just to tell me where I'm wrong, and I want you to disagree with one another, so it will be more, yeah. It's so important. So I will since I'm teaching AI for the last 2.5 years now, I have a couple of insights that I think this is the proper audience to share from the stuff that you do. First of all, this is the kintsugi art form? The kintsugi art form is a Japanese one that breaks stuff and glue them with gold. I think this is the perfect metaphor for us right now. The AI will make everything perfect, but perfect in the worst possible way. I think that the human kintsugi, this gold, our flaws, is going to be our premium factor. The fact that it's not perfect, the fact that it's different than the others, the fact that it's nothing that Claude can write for now. This, I think, is going to be our main selling point in the upcoming years. So this is one important point. The second one is that AI gave us the power to do exactly what we want, but then we discovered that exactly what we want is much more complex question than it seems. The third one, and I think we can agree about it, that the AI shuttles our reality down to an atom, and everything demands a reassembly. And I think that if you are a normal person, you are finding it as very scary, which I am also finding it very scary. However, as a creative person, I find it like I'm in a gift shop, in a candy store. The possibilities are endless, and I can do quite a lot of new things. Like the book that I'm writing right now is Mike Reese from The Simpsons. Mike is a writer of The Simpsons, and he's been writing for The Simpsons for 37 years. However, he is not a good painter. And now with the AI, I can take all of his text and turn it into a comic book, and he doesn't need to use the painters. It's he can do it by himself. The last point I want to make, which I think is extremely important, is the promptitude. And sorry for the vulgar definition, but promptitude is the price that we are paying for us doing that using AI. Because while we are doing that, we are letting go of a lot of the things that we used to make. And we are I wrote it as a person who has become so hopelessly dependent on the generative AI for basic cognitive tasks that they surrender their autonomy. They lose both the capability and the motivation to make independent decisions. It's like we can't really navigate it these days without Waze or Google Maps or whatever. So it comes with a price. So this is why I wanted that to be the bottom line of my talk, is the fact that everything comes with a price. Questions? No? Thank you, guys.